up, guys? This is Ash here not on set, in a tour bus with Jeff of Reigns. Hey Jeff, how are you doing?
Very good.
That's awesome. So, tell us about what's going on tonight.
Big show from what I hear.
Yeah, this is a huge arena.
Yeah, it's been crazy because we're used to doing like smaller club
tours
and stuff, and then we jump on this tour and it's an arena almost every night, and it's pretty awesome. So.
Do you do sellout shows?
Yeah.
What's the feeling?
I actually just got chills thinking about that feeling. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You know, and the response has been phenomenal. Everything's been going great for us.
You had an album out recently, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell us about it.
It actually got released, I think 2 years ago, and it just never really got the push we wanted it to get. Mm-hmm. So I spent the past year basically before this tour, or 8 months, putting together a team of people, PR people, radio people, all that kind of stuff, just to give us that nationwide push that, you know, major labels would give you. So now we're our own record label, we're our own everything, and, you know, we're making it happen. So
it's a lot more difficult being everything yourself.
I enjoy the business side of it. My brain works really fast, so if I'm not doing something, I get really bored. So I think I think it's more difficult to deal with major labels than, you know, because we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, you can totally be yourself.
Yeah, so it's been really cool.
That's awesome. So what was the feeling like the first time you heard yourself on the radio?
It was unbelievable. I was actually in the studio recording vocals. Our manager at the time, like, her office was in the studio, so she calls in and says, "Get your ass in here, you're on the radio right now." And I leave the vocal booth and sprint to her office, and Liar was playing on Sirius Octane, and I was like, holy shit.
That's awesome.
And I still get that feeling. I mean, it never goes away, you know. It's really cool.
That is. That's awesome. So what's next for the band? Do you have any big plans?
We're going to take Christmas and New Year's off, and then we're in the process of confirming a tour for either January or early February. So I should know for sure on that in the next week or so. So basically the plan is just keep touring our asses off. And
any new music headed?
I have a lot of new music written since the album's been out for a while, and since this current record's getting the push we've always wanted it to get. It's given us a lot of time to write the second album and the third album and the fourth album. You know, so
wow. So you're set.
We got plenty of stuff coming. So.
All right. So where does the influence for the lyrics come from?
When I was growing up, I listened to a lot of country music and a lot of the '70s rock. You know, I mean, my first tattoo is I have a Led Zeppelin tattoo right here, and then I got really hooked on the whole '90s grunge Seattle scene with, you know, Alice in Chains and Soundgarden, Pearl Jam, all that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of it comes from that, and the music, I think a lot of it comes from that whole Seattle scene. I think, you know, people always ask what it sounds like. I think it sounds like a modern day '90s Seattle grunge sound, you know. I just got really tired of hearing the cookie cutter bullshit. We're drinking and doing drugs and having sex, and that's all these songs are about. And it's like, why doesn't somebody just do something real and tell real stories? And the record's called Stories, and that's what I did. I just told stories from my own life, and it seems to be being received very well. So
you had a very interesting life then.
I wrote that record really fast in a very short period.
Okay.
But yes, to say the least, it's been interesting.
What's been the high point of your life?
Today. Today
is the high point?
Yeah, every day just keeps getting better.
Is it because you're here, or?
Well, the high point of my life was when my daughter was born, but career-wise, I mean, every day is like just to be able to watch all this build and build and build and get bigger and bigger and get it to where I've always wanted it to be is like, well, yesterday was amazing, but today's even more amazing because now I get to play another arena and get more new fans, you know, so every day's awesome.
That's awesome.
Hopefully my band feels the same way. We'll see.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Well,
we're one of the only bands that actually gets along. It's really bizarre. I mean,
the only band?
Yeah. Like
your brothers?
we're a family, you know,
Tight.
and we never fight, we never bicker, never anything. It's just we're here to do a job, and we have a blast doing it. And you know, seeing a lot of the other bands we tour with, it's like, how do you function like that? Like, I couldn't deal with it. So it's really cool.
What's the ultimate goal for Reigns as a band?
To be the biggest band in the world.
So when do you plan on accomplishing that dream?
As soon as I can. We're working on it.
Okay.
I've been working on it for 12 years. So.
12 years?
I started the band 12 years ago.
Wow. How did it start?
I just got this stupid idea in my head that I wanted to be a rock star, and I thought it'd be a lot easier than it has been. And I went and recorded a really shitty CD, and it somehow sold 12,000 copies, and I wish I could get every one of them back because it's a terrible CD. But whatever. I think I still have like 5,000 of them stored somewhere. And people always
That's
email
crazy.
asking for it, and I'm like, fuck you. You're not getting your hands on that. And I would hire different musicians to play every show with me. I mean, I was the only person in the band for probably 7 years.
Wow.
Every single show I'd have different musicians. It sucked. And then like 5 years ago, me and my guitar player, you know, got together, and so he's been in the band since then. And then we had a bass player and drummer for 5 years, right up until before this tour. And bass players in another band, and they had some stuff that logistically it wasn't possible, so we just decided to part ways. And my brother was actually the drummer, and he's the complete opposite of me. He's a complete homebody, and he just sent out an email to everyone and said, I'm just not really into it anymore. I don't really feel like touring. I'm just kind of done. And it was like, cool, whatever, you know.
It's tough.
Business is business, and family's family. So I went to a cookout at his house that night, and we drank beer and hung out, and it was like nothing ever happened. So
that's awesome.
It was cool.
Awesome.
Unfortunately, all of that happened like a week before this tour started. Because we were supposed to join the tour November 8th, and then all of a sudden we got an email at like midnight one night saying, Rev Theory can't do the whole tour, can you guys start from the beginning in San Francisco? And that was like the day the 2 other band members left.
So how'd you make that up?
I've had a relationship with our current drummer for a long time. He used to be the drummer in a band called Raw, and I called him. He lives in Boston, so I called him and I said, all right, what are the possibilities of you being able to do this? And he was on a flight and at my house the next day. I called our sound guy and I said, I don't know if you know anybody, but you happen to know a bass player that would do this tour with us? And within 5 minutes, we have our current bass player. We had him signed on for the whole tour. It was pretty awesome. Yeah, and now I'm like, this is the band I've always wanted. Not to take anything away from what the band was before, but it's just when something clicks, it clicks, and you know.
So you're gonna keep these guys around?
Oh hell yeah.
Perfect.
As long as they'll stay around, but I don't think it'd be a problem.
That's awesome.
So.
All right. So you got any last words for us?
Nope.
All right.
No. For any fans out there, we want to thank you for all the support, and for any new fans, hopefully you enjoy the upcoming records.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Check it out. Later.
I know you're waiting and you're so damn nervous. I know you're hoping that I could explain